Steve here. All right, let's get right to it. Today we're going to crack open that all-in-one trade ticket on Charles Schwab and talk about the very first strategy on their list, the vertical. Look, if you want to trade smarter and not just harder, this is your starting point. So let's dive in.
Yeah, if that one hits a little too close to home, then you need to hear this. Far too many traders just get absolutely torched buying single options. You know the feeling? You watch the clock tick down and your premium just evaporates. It's a painful and very expensive lesson to learn. But what if I told you there's a way to make time your ally instead of your enemy? Well, the pros, they play a different game.
And this is it. This is their secret weapon, the vertical spread. You know, this is the bread and butter for any professional trader because it's built for one thing, consistency. It's how you know your exact risk before you even place the trade, and this is the important part, it's how you lower your cost on every single position you take.
Okay, let's start with a classic scenario. You've done your homework, you like a stock, and you think it's headed higher. This is exactly where you use the vertical call, what some people call a bull call spread. It's a bet on the upside, but it's a calculated one. So let's talk mechanics. When you look at your Schwab screen, you're actually doing two things at the exact same time. First, you buy the call you actually want, right? The one you think is going to make you money. But here's the trick. At the same instant, you sell another call at a higher strike price. And what does that do? That sale brings in cash, a premium, that immediately cuts down the cost of the call you just bought. It is an incredibly efficient way to structure a trade.
And this right here is the trade-off you have to understand. Buying a single call, that's like buying a lottery ticket. Sure, the profit is technically unlimited, but your odds are low and the risk of it expiring worthless is incredibly high. A vertical call is a different beast entirely. You agree to cap your potential profit, but in exchange, you get a much lower cost and, more importantly, a clearly defined capped risk. We're not buying lotto tickets here. We're making calculated, high-probability trades.
All right, let's flip the coin. What if you think the market's looking a little weak, maybe heading for a downturn? Well, next up on the list is your tool for exactly that, the vertical put, or a bear put spread.
And the logic here, you guessed it, is the mirror image of the call spread. You buy a put at a higher strike price, think of that as your insurance policy against the stock falling. But insurance costs money, right? So, to help pay for it, you sell another put at an even lower strike price. That sale brings in cash and neatly defines the absolute bottom of your trade.
And you know, this is where having a good platform really shines. The Schwab ticket does all the heavy lifting for you. Before you even think about hitting that review button, it spells it all out, your net debit, which is just your total cost and max risk all in one number, and your max gain. There are no surprises. There's zero naked risk, which means you can never lose more than you put into the trade. It's a clean, defined way to play a down market.
So you're probably wondering, Steve, why in the world do they call this thing a vertical? It's kind of an odd name, I'll give you that. But there's actually a very, very simple reason for it.
It's this simple. Both the option you buy and the option you sell, they expire on the exact same day. That's it.
If you were to pull up an options chain, which is really just a big grid of prices and dates, you'd see these two options stacked right on top of each other. They're in the same column for the same date. They literally sit on the same vertical line. That's where the name comes from. You're not trading time against time here. You're trading the distance between two price levels.
Now, as we wrap this up, I need to put this strategy in its proper context for you. This isn't just one strategy among many, it is the absolute starting point.
And I really can't say this enough. You need to master this concept. Burn it into your brain. Learn to define your risk. Learn to lower your cost. Why? Because all those other fancy strategies you see, the iron condors, the butterflies, they're all just different combinations of vertical spreads. You have to start here. This is the foundation of everything else.
So there you have it, the what, the how, and the why. You've got the foundational strategy right in front of you. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it? This is Steve. Choose your strikes, and I'll see you at the open.